That's our culture. The scriptures is our culture. Not what the movies portray. Not New Jack City. Not Belly. Not Paid in Full. Not Friday. Not Boys in the Hood. Not Minister Society. Not Drinking Your Juice. Not the movie Juice. Not Above the Rim. But the scriptures, the law, statutes, and the commandments. And honoring one another. That's our culture. Our women dressing modestly with head wraps and dressing and dressing modestly and not profanely. And us as men, respecting and showing respect toward another black man and uplifting them and being able to underground network with integrity, morality, and integrity, morality, and having some dignity amongst one another and some honor amongst one another. But we can't do it. The next thing I want to talk about is for righteousness' sake. For righteousness' sake. The next thing I want to talk about is for righteousness' sake. The next thing I want to talk about is for righteousness' sake. Okay? No matter how close we are to someone, I think this is where a lot of black people go wrong in this city. Now, this is black people from New York to California, but I'm just going to refer to this city. Why? Because it's where I live. For righteousness' sake. No matter how close we are to someone, the word of God should be first. Now, I see a lot of fake Instagram relationships. I see a lot of fake Instagram relationships. I see a lot of fake Instagram so-called associations. Fake. Okay? A lot of fake associations. Now, I'm letting many of you know. Okay? I'm letting many of you know that you simply should not let me put it this way. There are a lot of people that hook up on Instagram and Facebook. They may show themselves with that person. Many of you need to be careful, because in some cases that dude don't really got no love for you. Never be so afraid of a man that you're concerned about your friendship, just because he's an emotional person. You got some people that they like to come on Instagram with everything. They like to come on social media with everything. Man, these niggas acting funny toward me or something like that. Nobody cares. Who cares? You shouldn't be worried about it. If you think somebody's acting some type of way toward you, don't mess with them. Because people could feel some type of way about you for more than one reason. Either they're doing something wrong, or maybe it's you. Maybe you don't have the honor. Maybe you don't have the integrity. Maybe they don't trust you. Me personally, I don't trust any of you. Therefore, I don't associate with any of you. There are certain people that I might feel as though I could trust. Some honorable people out there. But for the most part, I don't really associate with any of you. Not because I don't love you as a people, but because I know that most of you niggas is wicked. Everything is, well, if he do this, I'm going to do this. Now, a lot of people would like to place honor on the way people would like to place honor or not place honor on the way people make their money. A lot of people out there would like to place honor and not place honor on the way people make their money. And I say this. You have to be careful about that. Now, there are certainly dishonorable ways of making money. But we don't want to be petty. Okay? We don't want to be petty. Okay? If a man has a job, if a brother has a job, and it's linked to the police, that doesn't make him dishonorable. You understand what I'm saying to you all? If a man has a job and it's linked to the police, that doesn't make that man dishonorable. No way it doesn't. No way. Okay? And if you are a man, as long as it's not dishonorable, as long as you're not, okay, not being a citizen, as long as you're not somebody who's if you're not a pedestrian and you're playing both sides of the fence and you're pointing people out, that's different. If you're not a pedestrian and you're playing both sides of the fence and you're pointing people out, that's different. But if you are a man or a woman and, you know, it's your job to watch the communities or whatever this, that is, and the third, that don't make you dishonorable, and it doesn't make you a chump, not at all. Okay? And anything of that nature. So, you know, we want to be careful about how we place honor and place dishonor on somebody's occupation. Okay? We just have to be careful. Things sometimes have to be evaluated. Me personally, I'm not too newsy enough to evaluate to evaluate someone's occupation in that nature to that degree. But for many of you that really care, that really matters to, then, you know, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do, get in people's business however you want to do it. But that doesn't necessarily make the person dishonorable, and it certainly don't make them a chump. Okay? So we don't want to really get too caught up on that like that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you know, that because there are some people that on Instagram and on social networking that you always see them in rental cars. They're always just seem like it's just doing stuff for the camera. You know, you do have to understand that those people are trying to feed their children. Okay? You can't say, well, everybody needs to get a job. You can't tell people that, dog. I've never said that, not once. I've never tried to put stipulations on how people make money. As long as you're not blatantly ratting people out and throwing people under the bus and attempting to defame someone whilst doing it, you got a family to feed. You understand what I'm saying to you? So therefore, that family must be fed. And you, if that's what, and many of you brothers, you came out of jail and you fell into these social media ways of making money, as long as you're honorable about it and not dishonorable about it, as long as you do it with integrity for the most part, in some cases it may even seem like, you know, it may appear dishonorable to some people or whatever, this, that, and the third. But as long as you're not defaming anyone, throwing anybody under the bus, and snitching on somebody, attempting to destroy someone else and whilst doing it, then do it. Because nobody is going to pay your bills. Nobody's going to buy your Pampers for your sons and your daughters. Nobody's going to do any of those things. They're not going to pay your light bill. They're not going to pay your gas bill. Now, me personally, I just choose not to do those things to make money, but that doesn't make it dishonorable. Dishonorable is to dishonor somebody, and to be a maggot is that's your character. You understand what I'm saying? Because there are maggots out there. Okay? Just don't be a maggot. That's all. Okay? But for the most part, do not attempt to be do not worship friendship. Don't worship friendship. Worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahuwah. Don't worship friendship. Because friendship is a very, 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 very strong word. Okay? It's a very strong word. Friendship is stronger than you can ever imagine. See, if you can count all your friends on all your fingers, you crazy as Murdoch. There's no way in the world you got that many friends. It's impossible in 2022, damn near, to have 10 friends. If you got 10 friends, you're dysfunctional if you think you have 10 friends. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob declared Abraham a friend. Christ said, "You are my friends if you do what I tell you to do and follow my commandments." Friendship is an extremely strong bond that most likely can't be broken. You niggas don't have no friends on social media. None of y'all have friends. Don't you understand this? Social media is a psychological weapon to the 10th power. It is extremely powerful. Social media is a very, very powerful form of witchcraft. Very powerful. Now, listen. I believe that there are some good things on social media, dog. There are some brothers that have platforms on social media that I don't mind watching and that I like. Okay? I don't care. I'll name a few. Okay? There are very few people that I can listen to in terms of advice. In fact, there's hardly anybody on social media that I can listen to in terms of advice. All right? Hardly anybody. But on YouTube, I have The Watchman and his wife. Sometimes I even listen to Jedediah Malik. I don't think the brother's bad. I've had some discrepancies with his teachings in the past. But it seems like, and like I said, I listen to the brother. And I still got to get one of his books that he came out with as well. Um, that's on the circumcision side, right? And I even listened to Deacon ASAP, and I listened to the brothers from the Writings on the Wall radio show for IUIC, right? That's from the, and there are others too, and there's some on Instagram from the circumcision side of things, right? There aren't many people, right? Even from the non-circumcised circumcision. And this side, I rarely listen to anybody. But OG Shabazz, or Shabazz the OG, is a pretty wise man. Okay? There aren't many. Right? I don't learn anything from Fat Joe, but I like the little show he comes on with on the Instagram, right? For entertainment sometimes, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I pay attention to Snoop Dogg's page. Snoop Dogg is a comical guy, man. I don't mean it. You got to be careful now when you say things about people, because people think black folks instantly think they're getting played. So I'm not saying like he's a comedian or anything. I'm just saying, you know, if you want a couple laughs, man, and sometimes you pay attention to Snoop page, man. Snoop will have you rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? Brother got a sense of humor. And, you know, he got bread. He take care of his family, and he just out to just enjoy life now. He just had a record come out, Algorithm or whatever, whatnot. You know, I don't know about it, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't mind naming some names, like, you know, so, and in terms of people that I think that have honor amongst one another, you know what I'm saying? I think the Locks have honor amongst one another. I think OBH has honor amongst one another. You know, to have honor amongst one another is stand-up stuff, man. It's stand-up shit. It's going to get you very far. You understand what I'm saying? So, honor is important, right? So, I'm not saying like I just don't I don't pay attention to anything, and I don't listen to anybody at all, and I don't have admiration on a person level, on a people level, not God admiration, but on a personal level. I don't have a low level admiration for the way people do things, and for some people out here, because I do. I show an honor, not a reverence, because there's 3 types of honor that the Bible speaks of. I don't show them the honor thy mother and father type of honor, but I show them that reverence. But I do show people that, you know, that honor amongst men. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing I want to talk about is the simple-minded, which I'm really not going to waste too much time with this. I just want people out there to not be simple-minded. I want some of you all to know that you should not be manipulated. You should not be manipulated by social media. You should not be manipulated by the crowd. You should not be manipulated by the streets. You should not be manipulated. For some of you women out there, don't be manipulated by a man. And for some of you men out there, don't be manipulated by a woman. Manipulation is also a form of witchcraft, and you all should be very careful. And many of you don't know that you're being manipulated. Many of you are being manipulated by the crowd. Many of you are being manipulated by social media and by your husbands and your wives. So many of you need to be very careful out there. Okay? See, what you all don't understand is a lot of you want this world to love you, but this is a cold, cold world. And the last thing you want is this world to love you, because if the world loves you, that makes you an enemy of God. If the world loves you, you are an enemy of Christ. If the world loves you, you are an enemy of Elohim. If the world loves you, you are an enemy of Yahuwah. If the world loves you, you're an enemy of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you're in a very dangerous place. I'm warning you all. Now, with this last 10 minutes, I want to read a couple things. I want to give you some information. I want to reiterate some information on the mark of the beast. Okay? I want y'all to stay away from that microchip. The microchip that goes a microchip is a very dangerous thing, okay? And I want you all to be very aware of. Now, this is not going to happen today or tomorrow, and I highly doubt if it's even going to happen next year. I'm not talking about the one in the hand. That's already running. That's Denmark got that going on all crazy. Even a lot of India and Beijing got that going on too. So I'm not even going to talk about that right now. I just don't want to focus on the hand right now not because I want to take it, okay? But because I want to be careful because it's sensitive, because I don't want to have people in poverty too early. And it might not necessarily. So I'm just going to leave that alone right now until Christ shows me some things or whatever it is, that, and the third. But my concern is certainly the link to the head, okay, the forehead, okay. That's the one right there, and but now that's not something that they're going to require anytime soon, okay. That type of singularity. Right, that's certainly future type of things going on right there. Now, I think you all need to understand something that I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say the end is here, but it's not here. And what I mean by that is, see, 1,000 years to us is one day to Christ. Pay attention to what I'm saying. 1,000 years to us is one day to Christ. 1,000 years to us is one day to Christ. 1,000 years to us is one day to Christ. 1,000 years on this planet Earth is only one day in the holy mountain. One day. So, but that doesn't mean that we have 1,000 years to go. Okay, we're approaching the seventh day. We're approaching the millennial Sabbath. I have reason to believe 2049. But I'm only a man, and certainly, unless you're a foolish person, are you going to take what I just said for face value. But I have very, very strong reason for me, my personal belief, 2049, and the return of Christ 2050. But we're not going to get into that right now. Why? Because That's something that you should not take face value, because I'm not a prophet. No man knows the day or the time. Okay? I got my own reasons for that, though, but anyway, a lot of things will be rapidly changing between now and then. So when I say the end, I'm not saying Christ is coming next year. I'm not saying that even Jacob's trouble is coming next year. What I'm saying is, I believe we're about 30 years out, but there are going to be a lot of birth pains in those 30 years. Now, these birth pains now, they're happening, every 2 years? I'm talking about when something major hits. There are a few more things that's major that's going to hit, right? I don't know how far apart they're going to be, such as the grid is going to drop, which means lights are probably going to go out all over the entire East Coast, entire West Coast, Central. You never know how it's going to happen, but that's going to cause a catastrophe, okay? You're going to have some winter storms coming that are going to be I don't know, hopefully not this one, but there are going to be some winter storms coming that are going to be very catastrophic. There are going to be natural disasters that are coming that's going to be extremely catastrophic, okay? There's going to be a economic collapse, okay? Now, there's going to be a major economic collapse where the economy is not going to return. And it's going to lead everything into a different currency, okay? So those coins, those currencies, but see, a lot of people look at them as opportunity. Well, it can be opportunity, but it's also a step closer to the mark of the beast. See, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people are going to do to maintain finances. Because the only way you're going to be able to keep the finances, the only way that you're going to be able to stay on grid, this world, the beast system, the one world order, the only way that you're going to be able to maintain your beautiful lifestyle down here on earth is to take the mark. And if you do that, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to wish you'd never been born. Okay? See, you're fearing the wrong thing. You're fearing the government. You're fearing poverty when you should be fearing Christ. Okay? But I just want to tell you all what the mark of the beast is going to do if you take it. Okay? As I said before, it's going to corrupt your DNA, which orchestrates your God gene. The mark of the beast is going to prevent you from believing in God. I wanted to reiterate that. And I don't know if this was, because I didn't even look at, they took down my second and my fourth video from the last message. I didn't even look at the first one and the third one to see if I'm even covering what was lost. But I just wanted to reiterate this because I don't think many of you understand the magnitude. You're not comprehending that. A lot of black and white women of America, you're thinking that's completely unimportant. You don't care. Especially those of you who are housewives. You say, my husband takes care of this and he takes care of that. And we're millionaires this and we're millionaires that. We're 100,000-aires this, we're 100,000-aires that. And, you billionaires. Y'all, you billionaires, you bees. Y'all really think y'all got it made, right? But nobody think they got it made like the wicked people, the elite. Right? All of you think you got it made, right? This is Christ's planet. Christ owns this planet, not Satan. Satan is just occupying it and running it for a short period of time. But Christ owns it. Christ owns it. Okay? The mark of the beast is going to make you not have not be capable in belief of God. Do you understand the detriment that is, right?